ever had. You guys. Are you guys enjoying the con? FanX have done a pretty amazing job. Thank you, FanX, for having me. This has been so fun. This is the first time I've signed a motorbike. This is...
You can sit right there, you can sign it right there, right
so
there. Whatever you want to sign it, you're perfectly fine, but...
Can I have this?
I think we can work something out. Alright, let's do a crowd check, guys. Get those cameras out. Tom, if you can stand right up here. And turn this way right here. This camera right here.
Oh, let me drop this stuff. Hang on.
Oh, you want to hold that? All right, guys. Ready? On the count of three. One, two,
three. You want me to sit here on the floor?
No, right here.
Oh. Thank you.
So I take it everybody knows who you are. How are you finding Salt Lake City? I think they like you.
Salt Lake City's been amazing so far. It's been so fun. I think yesterday was the busiest day I've ever had at a Comic-Con. But the most fun as well. You guys like really turned up. It was really fun. Like everyone had really cool poses to do for the camera and stuff, and it was fun. It was really cool.
Now, when people come up and they do the meet and greet kind of thing, or even when they just meet you in general, not even at a con, do they have misconceptions about you? Do they think like, oh, I thought you'd be, or I thought you would, what?
I get taller a lot.
You get the tall?
Everyone says it like, oh my god, I thought you'd be taller. I'm like, thanks. What a way to start the conversation, mate. Now, I get American a lot. I always play with people, though. I put on a much stronger English accent than I do actually have. Not now. But if someone says, hi, oh my god, you Tom Holland? I'm like, yeah, hello, mate, how are you doing? And they go, what? I've had people, like, think that I'm trying to be English to not be Tom Holland. It's really weird. I've had people like, you're such a dick, man. Like, why are you lying to me? I'm like, I'm not. Ask the Queen.
Now we're all here because we love the genre. We love, comics and Star Wars and Star Trek, things like that. If you were to put together a fan con, and you programmed it, what would be there? Who would you want to have appear? Who would, maybe it's, I don't know, is it football or what is it?
If I was doing a Comic-Con, who would I have?
Any kind of con. You're a fan of something.
Oh, I see. I would be boring and do like a golf one. I'd try and get all the golfers to show up and give me a golf lesson.
That can be arranged.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. That's probably something I would do, yeah. Golf. I'm obsessed with golf. I'm like an old man in a 23-year-old's body. But recently, I've been playing golf. This is such a boring story. I've been playing golf so much recently, almost every day with my little brother Harry. And shout out Harry. And I've been playing so much recently, and then I went away, I did 2 weeks work, I came back, and it's like I've never played golf before.
Well, how long?
It's like I forgot the ability to play golf.
How long have you been playing?
I've been playing golf for like 10 years. I played in a match the other day, and I just had to go home. I was like, do you know what, dude? I got too much going on right now to have this sort of stress, so I just went home. It was awful.
Well, let's go back to the beginning, because I mean your life has changed so much in the past 5 years. Well, let's go back to the beginning. Your father was in show business, still is. Was it always Tom's going to be in show business, or was there something else, like being an architect or something? I don't know.
Definitely not clever enough to be an architect. No, it wasn't always for me. I wasn't always going to do show business. When I was really young, I used to dance to this Janet Jackson song when I was like 2 or something. And my mum just thought, oh, he has good rhythm and stuff, I'll send him to like a dance class. So every Saturday I would go to this like street dance class. And when I say street dance, it was like, it wasn't real hip hop. And I got spotted at the dance school to audition for a show called Billy Elliot.
Yes.
That's where I learned to dance, and I did gymnastics, I did tap dancing and ballet and hip hop and singing and acting and all sorts. And it just opened up my world to this possibility that I could become an actor. And it's never something I wanted to do. And even now, like, I love the film industry, and I'm starting to explore like different avenues of where I can sort of, you know, make a future in the film industry that doesn't necessarily have to be acting. So it wasn't until I started working with Naomi Watts that I really decided that this is what I wanted to do. It wasn't until then that I was like, oh wow, I could like do this for a living. This is way better than being at school.
Beats working.
I get so many kids like, I want to be just like you, man. I want to not go to school and do films. And then I see their parents in the back like, don't say that's a good idea.
Well, did your father have any advice about getting?
Oh, of course. I mean, my dad's been such a huge help and asset to my career and my life. More importantly, me as like a young man, all comes from my dad.
His father's a very famous comedian in England.
He's really funny. I was talking to him the other day about the idea for a TV show where he would teach me to be a comedian. But like for real, like it would be like Tom Holland is teaching Tom Holland to do like a stand-up show. And he was like, no son, you don't want to do that. I'd had a few beers, but I think that would be really fun. But it's so funny, these Comic-Cons are so different to doing a stand-up show. Like I come on here and I leave the stage, I'm like, I'm really funny. I'm like the funniest guy in the room. But it's not the case.
Well, I'm glad your father is giving you some advice and some tough love occasionally, it sounds like. But then, you know, I watch the movies, and Tony and Peter, that's a father-son relationship. And Robert Downey Jr., he has been in the business, been around a long time. Did you get anything from him, some advice, or just by watching him even, that helped you?
Yeah, I've said this so many times, like sometimes you don't need to ask for advice, you can just take a step back and watch people you admire. And the amazing thing about RDJ is that he's arguably the most famous movie star on the planet, or the biggest movie star on the planet, you know? But he's always early, he knows every crew member's name, he always knows his lines, he's professional, he's kind, he's caring. I mean, I was sick on set one day, I didn't really know the guy, and he's like, come to my trailer and I'll make you feel better. And now normally in Hollywood, that's like, no thank you. No, I'm fine, thanks, Mr. Robert Downey Jr. But he was really sweet, and he you know, he kind of looked after me and took me under his wing a little bit, because, you know, entering the Marvel Universe is daunting. It's a big process. I mean, sitting in front of 5,000 people isn't something you normally do. That's not a regular day occurrence. So the thing for me is, the thing I learned most from him, and I learned it from Hemsworth and Evans and Scarlett and everyone really, is that just because you're at the top doesn't mean you can be a dick. Pardon my French, excuse me.
Well, I was gonna ask you how you keep it real, and it sounds like the Avengers help you keep it real.
They do. Golf helps me keep it real too, though.
Now you grew up in London. Are you still living there?
Yes, I still live in London, yes. I actually forgot I was coming here. The morning of, Mike, my agent was like, hey man, are you ready? I said, no. Where am I going? And I thought this was next week. So I had to get up, pack my bags, get ready, run to the airport. I didn't run to the airport, I drove to the airport. So I literally have the clothes on my back and my passport.
But somebody help him.
I know.
Get him a t-shirt.
Idiot.
Your life has, you know, I mean, you're internationally famous. That's got to be tough in a way. I mean, there's not just, you can't just, you know, pop out of your flat and run to Nando's anymore, you know. How have you had to adjust your life to this, I mean, international fame?
It's not easy. It's really not easy. What makes it easy is that my fans are so kind and so like, thank you. You know, it's tough. It's not the easiest thing in the world, and it's a lot to adjust to. And you have to realize that, you know, you become a role model for so many young people, and you have a duty to make sure that you live up to the expectations of what being Spider-Man means. So yeah, I mean, thank you. It hasn't been the easiest thing in the world, and you know, you have to make some life changes, and you have to really take a look at yourself and go, what kind of person do I want to be? And I decided, and that's a nice person. But yeah, so it's been fun, and you know, like, everyone always talks about how difficult fame is, but it comes with its own set of amazing things, and you know, I would never have dreamed of being here in Salt Lake City talking to you guys, and this amazing job has brought me here. So while there are things that are tough, and it is sometimes quite scary, there's way more better sides to it than there are bad sides, so yeah.
And you talked about how this character is a role model, and Peter really is. I mean, I've been reading these comics since I was 8, and it was always kind of what would Peter Parker do. Is there somebody in your life, whether in real life or, you know, movie, TV, comic, who was kind of your moral compass in a way?
Definitely not Harrison. By the way, oh no, I can't say that.
Robert!
I was going to congratulate Harrison. He got an amazing job, but I don't know if I can tell you what the job is. A role model in my life. There's been so many role models in my life. I'd say my dad is one of the biggest ones. You know, he's been a great dad. He's been a great husband. He's a fantastic guy. He works hard. You know, he puts people first. He's a very selfless man. So I'd say my dad is probably one of my biggest role models growing up. Yeah. I go on YouTube and I see these videos of you visiting children's hospitals. And I tear up every time. And I just think I guess that's back to the not being a dick part. How did all of that come about? Thank you.
You're awesome.
How did that come about?
Was it just a whim? We got the suit, let's go? Or?
We were in Atlanta shooting Spider-Man Homecoming, and you know, remember the sequence where Spider-Man is being dragged behind the back of a truck? Is it a truck or a van? It's a van. Bit chase it, and the Vulture picks him up. That bit. It was all night shoots, you see, and when you do a night shoot, you do the shoot, you finish at 4 o'clock in the morning, you go to bed, and then you wake up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you have 6 hours before you need to go to work. And I just had seen people do it. I think I saw Chris Pratt do it, and I went, you know what, that's something that I should do. I think that would be a really good thing to do. So I asked Sony if I could borrow the suit. They said, of course. We took the suit, we went to the children's hospital, we visited the kids, and from the first time I did it, I saw what an immediate impact it had on these kids, and their parents as well. And I just thought, I was like, if I'm not doing anything, then that's something I should be doing. So something I just do every now and then. I enjoy it. It's a nice time to go meet new people, and also it's a nice way to do something impactful that is pretty easy. I mean, I just go into London and someone brings the suit and I put it on and then walk around and say hello to people. I mean, it's not, everyone's always like, oh my God, you're so amazing, but excuse me, I shouldn't have said that. So yeah, I just enjoy doing it, and I think it's a really nice way to sort of make a difference in a very small way.
Well, I think you do. I think you make a big difference.
Thank you.
It was Michael Caine that said, "They don't pay me to act; they pay me to wait." And you brought up all the time that you have downtime on the set, because when you're making a movie, you do spend a lot of time waiting. What do you do to kill the time?
I'm gonna make a video of this and send it to my boss. Hang on. He's gonna love this. Okay. What I've been doing recently in my downtime making films is researching for this movie that I'm gonna do. I'm playing these games called Uncharted. Tom Rosman's gonna love that. It's so funny. Yeah, no, I play video games. I like to pretend that I read books, but I don't. I'm reading the Cherry book at the minute, which I'm going through again and making notes and taking stuff for inspiration for the film, which has been fun because it's a totally different role for me. I've never sort of played a role like that before. But in my downtime, I have a little putting green in my trailer, so I practice putting. I'm really boring. So I've been playing the Uncharted games, and Harry's playing them now, and he's on the 4th one, and they're amazing. They're so fun.
I saw you interviewed once. You were talking about sometimes the Spider-Man suits can be uncomfortable.
Sometimes.
I'd say it was an understatement. Is that the most difficult part of playing the role?
The hardest part of playing this role is knowing that when you walk on set, what you do today is going to be seen by millions of people. And that's quite a rare thing in the film industry. Normally you walk on set and you go, I don't know if anyone's going to see this film. I don't know if this film's going to be successful. But when you walk onto a Marvel Sony set playing Spider-Man, you know that whatever you do today is going to go a long way. But wearing the suits, the hardest thing is wearing the full suit. Because you can't talk to people. You'll be sitting there, we'll be having a chat, and then I'll ask you a question, and you'll just be like... And you won't be able to hear me because my mouth is so muffled.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah, it's really muffled and I can't see anything. And I remember when we were shooting the first film, do you remember the Washington Monument sequence? So the scene between Zendaya and I at the bottom where she's like, oh my God, my friends were up there. I remember we were on set and I was in the full suit and she was like, oh, it's so hot. I'm roasting. I was like, but yeah, so the suits are uncomfortable, but you know, like, we're all fans in here, and wearing the Spider-Man suit is a dream come true. I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Hundreds of them.
I know. So yeah, so, you know, you have pinch me moments where you're like, you know what, mate, it's uncomfortable, but you're Spider-Man, so get on with it.
Hero up.
Thank you, I love you guys too. I love you 3,000.
Breathtaking. I had this weird idea that when you got the part of Spider-Man that you were like shipped off to this secret Marvel HQ that was kind of like the Avengers building or something. And Kevin Feige descended down the staircase.
In a white robe.
And then said, hello, Tom. Here are some comic books to read. And there's a big vault like Indiana Jones or something. That's not the
true.
way. Is that all true?
Yeah.
I like to think that.
Absolutely, yeah.
How did it really come down? I mean,
it was interesting because I was in Atlanta auditioning. I did my first screen test was with Downey, and we did like a scene that's in the film, the scene where I meet him for the first time. We did that scene.
Which scene was that?
The one where I meet him for the first time and he's talking to me about going to Berlin, and I'm like, I can't go to Berlin, I go to school and stuff, like all that sort of stuff. And then what was I talking about? Getting into the Marvel world. Yeah, I just remember doing my auditions and I got to know all the crew really well because we were there for a couple of days and you know, I like to introduce myself to everyone and get to know everyone, and so by the time I came back to actually start shooting, I already felt like I was part of the family, which is what Marvel have done so well. I mean, it really is a family. I mean, when we were on what was it? It was D23 for Infinity War, and all of us were on stage, and we all sat down on the floor and watched the trailer. I'm the only one who's admitted that they cried. But there were so many people crying. Because it was just an amazing moment where all of these amazing people had come together and we kind of formed this like strange family, and we were making these crazy movies and going through it all together. So as soon as I got there, I kind of felt like I was home. Oh,
you mentioned all of these huge stars and incredibly talented actors all in one place at one time. I can't help but think about that last shot in Endgame, Tony's funeral. Is it true?
You mean the wedding?
I know.
Right? That was a wedding. What do you mean it was a funeral?
Is it true that everybody was there on the day?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I remember talking to Kevin Feige actually, and we were there, we were at that barn or whatever it was, like that lake house, yeah, thank you. And I remember talking to him, I went, wait a minute, is that Michelle Pfeiffer? And he was like, yeah. I said, what is she doing here? I had no idea she was, because Ant-Man, I don't think they'd even shot Ant-Man and the Wasp at that point. Or if they had, it hadn't come out yet, so I didn't know she was in the film. So Michael Douglas was there and Michelle Pfeiffer, it was crazy. It was the craziest day ever, and then I was there. Just like, me and Harrison were sitting in the green room like, we don't know what to do. But it was an amazing day. I mean, that day will forever go down as one of the most memorable days in my career. Finding out that it was a funeral was a bit of a shock to the system. But yeah, it was fun. It was a really fun day. And also, that's the first time I saw Chris with his bodysuit on. And I didn't know. I was like, wow, what happened, dude? But it was obviously, you know, it's his suit. But he's like every man's dream. Like, he took the shirt off and he had the big bodysuit on, and then you just unzip the back, and it falls off and he becomes a god again. It's amazing.
I mean, he's Thor and Captain Kirk's dad. I mean, how do you follow that? With social media, and you're all over Instagram, I know, and all over the place. That's got to be kind of tricky as well, because I mean, we were talking backstage. I said, you know, I can get on there and I can say things to famous people, just like that. How have you been handling that? Because I'm sure that, I mean, we all know the internet is weird. It's a nice way to put it. They won't let me use the real words. How do you handle that kind of a situation?
I mean, my Instagram, I often find people's Instagram, you look at their Instagram and then you meet them and go, wow, you're totally different to your Instagram. So I really try hard to just make sure that my Instagram is like a little glimpse into my life and into what's going on, and I try and include everyone and be inclusive rather than like, just look at me and look what I'm doing. Oh, thank you.
He's not. I hear he's a terrible golfer.
I am. Oh, thank you so much. Funny thing about that shoot was, I don't really do the whole fashion thing. It's not really my thing. But, you know, the opportunity came in and it's GQ. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that. That sounds really fun. It's the fall line. It's the cold one. It's the winter one. So I'm wearing big fluffy coats and jumpers and all sorts of stuff. We shot that on the hottest day in English history. And I'm sitting there sweating, obviously trying to be sexy. Like, this is not going well, but it turned out really well. I'm sure Photoshop was used on every single one of those photos.
Well, you know, being in the film industry, you've traveled to a lot of places. You've got to, and I only bring this up because when I was in London, I talked to the concierge at our hotel and I said, I want to eat what you guys eat. I want to have something the guy from London would be eating. He's, no mate, don't. There's an Indian place right down the way.
Indian food in London is amazing.
So now you've traveled everywhere. Is there, have you found a regional delicacy or food, or do you just miss the Indian food back home?
Well, I miss all food right now.
Oh, you're not?
Well, I'm doing this thing for Cherry and I'm trying to like look really skinny, like a an addict.
What's that diet like?
It's not fun. That's what it's like. But my favorite I guess my favorite foreign cuisine. I love Japanese food, like sushi and stuff. For me, like Tokyo is one of my favorite cities I've ever been to outside of my own country, and I love Japanese food. Oh man, it's the best.
We've got a great sushi joint right over here.
Yeah, sushi for me is one of my favorites. I love sushi. That's so bougie, but I love sushi. Thank you guys, thanks. Thank you. I don't do that. Yeah, we can. Come on. I'll come down here. Hang on.
Are you sure?
Are you ready? Okay. I think no, you don't need both hands. Okay, here we go. There you go, you got it. I had a fan in London recently.
How long did that take to learn?
That actually took us like 5 minutes. Me and Jacob not being organised at all, we came to set and John was like, so what are you guys going to do for the handshake? Like the handshake? Yeah, the handshake, right. We came up with one earlier, we didn't. So we made that up. It's actually kind of half of it is my handshake that I had with my mate Fox when we were like kids. So he was very upset that he didn't get credit for it. But I met a fan in London recently who came over and he said, hey mate, nice to meet you. And without thinking, we both just did the handshake. Like, he obviously knew it. He wasn't just like, we had this telepathic moment. We were just talking about Marvel, whatever was going on, and this and that, and then I was like, give me a hug, man.
I did want to bring up the charity that you're running. Could you tell us about that?
The Brothers.
I think it's terrific.
I've been so lucky in my life that I've been able to do some amazing things and go to amazing places, but the most rewarding part of my entire career has been working on the Brothers Trust. We are really, really trying hard to make differences now. You know, like make impactful differences to people's lives and really help them here and now. And we don't believe in raising money and giving it to these big charities that, you know, you don't really know where the money goes and all that sort of stuff. So we are so focused on working with smaller charities where we can really help them help other people. And it's been amazing, and you guys have been so wonderful with how you've supported us. Supported. So it's been amazing, and we support I think 17 charities now. Harry shot a documentary about one of the charities that we sponsor. It's the first charity. It's kind of where the Brothers Trust all started, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'll just say it anyway. It's going to be on the DVD extras of the Spider-Man Far From Home. So it has to be now. They can't take it off now. So it's I think a 9-minute little documentary about one of the charities we support and some of the other work that we do, and it's been amazing. And my wonderful mum, she runs the charity, and she's amazing.
How can these folks help? Can they donate? Is there a website?
I mean, you can donate or you can wait for an event that we do. I mean, we do events all throughout the year. I think we did 4 this year. And we obviously do like come and visit me on set, come to the premiere, or we do screenings and you can come to the screening, and it's a little less formal than the types of screenings that the big studios do. And we'll just go and we have dinner and it's fun. It's really fun.
Oh, it's some good work. You should look into this.
That's awesome.
All right, now I host a radio show here in town, and I ask my listeners to submit a few questions. So here we go. Who's your favorite Chris?
I can't answer that question.
You don't want to go?
My favorite Chris?
Your favorite Chris?
That's our piece of God.
Chris Pratt is like my big brother. He honestly is like my big brother. but I can't answer that question. Because I'm seeing them all soon, I guess. There's a Comic-Con, I guess, that we're all doing. I guess. I don't know if they're going. I don't know. I shouldn't have said that. I don't know.
Alright. Here's another one they wanted to know. Who is the bigger spoiler, you or Mark Ruffalo?
I haven't spoiled anything.
Yes, you have.
I guess it's Mark.
I've spoiled a few things, but Mark Ruffalo said that everybody dies at the end of Infinity War.
Don Cheadle nearly slapped him.
And Don's face is so priceless. But the thing is no one took him seriously. Like, if I had said that, everyone would be like, yeah, it probably happens, yeah. That's probably what happens. But, I mean, Mark live streamed the first 20 minutes of Thor by accident. I didn't do that. So I have to say Mark is, because I challenged a journalist to this the other day to come up with, I said, the next time I see you, the next film I do, the next press junket, I won't answer any of your questions unless you make a document of all the things I've spoiled. I haven't seen him yet, I don't know. I mean,
Receipts. The receipts.
But yeah, so, I don't think I've spoiled really anything.
I don't think you have. I think it's all Ruffalo.
The poster? Oh, but that was on purpose. That was a big thing.
Take a marketing class.
Yeah, that was all a big publicity. Can I start? I will later on. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's play golf.
Yeah, let's play golf.
Here's another one. Has anyone ever said anything really mean to you that's stuck with you? I know, it's my listeners suck. They're terrible.
Wow. Yeah, I guess so, but it's too rude to say on stage right now. There's a lot of kids in here. But sticks and stones, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Spectacular. Is there a Spider-Man story that you'd like to see told?
There's loads. I'm obsessed. I've been reading the Ultimates again.
Oh, that's so good.
But I'm not going to talk about what I want to see happen, just in case it does happen, and then this is technically a spoiler. So I'm not going to talk about the version or the story that I would like to tell next. Yeah, I'm going to keep that to myself, because the chances are they're not going to listen to me. It's not going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see.
You don't think you could call up somebody and say, let's do...
I guess I can. I could go see John Watts and be like, dude, what are we doing? But, you know, it's early stages yet.
All right, here's another one. If you could choose one fictional character to bring to life and be your real-life best friend, who would you choose?
I'd just say Spiderman.
Spiderman?
Yeah.
I mean, Peter Parker is like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like you were talking about role models earlier, like Peter Parker's been a massive role model for me in the last 5 years of my life, you know?
Absolutely.
Because he's someone who's dealing with his life being flipped upside down, which kind of happened to me. I didn't get bitten by a radioactive spider and get superpowers, but I became famous and this whole thing happened to me. So him and I have kind of parallels in our lives, and he's been an amazing role model for me. But if I could bring, and he'd also be so good to have right now, Spider-Man could do so many amazing things right now.
We need him now. And you are the perfect person to play Peter Parker, because I think you are so very much like him. Salt Lake City, thank Tom Holland for coming and singing.
Everybody give a huge round of applause for Tom!
Guys, thank you so much. The con so far has been amazing. I can't wait to meet you all today. Give me a hug, take a picture, let's do a funny pose. Let's just make today a really fun day to remember. And thank you FanX for having me, and thank you everyone so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I love you 3000. Bye guys.